All right, welcome back, everyone. Coming up on 7/16 now. The election is just over 1 week away, and the results will have a significant impact on our nation in many different ways.
And one of those will be economically. So with more on how the election could impact the markets, certified financial planner Dan Hernandez is back with us. So good morning, Dan, and thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, we've been all watching to see if the government passes another stimulus bill. And if we do happen to get that check, do you think that it's going to help to boost the economy?
Absolutely. It's going to help to boost the economy. It's going to help boost the market. The market's been hanging on here the last couple of weeks, kind of anticipating that. You know, watching everything else. It's certainly watching earnings, watching the employment numbers, but anticipating that stimulus. So yeah, if that comes, it'll certainly give a boost to the market and the economy, I believe.
Yeah, it's just a big standby, though, because the market certainly has kind of been waiting, as you said, and now there's words that perhaps it might not even come before the election. But speaking of the election, how has it made, at least the campaign leading up to the election, how has it made an impact on the market so far? Do you expect it to change next week, no matter who wins?
Well, look, the market does not like change. The market does not like uncertainty. So if Trump were to win, that's probably status quo, and the market will be okay with that. Anything that leads to uncertainty, if there is an extended period of time where they're counting mail-in ballots, if it changes to Democratic leadership, that stuff can affect the market. However, I'm going to say this. I think the market is actually more concerned with Congress than it is the presidency, historically.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense. But how soon after the election do you think we'll be able to see if there's a significant impact on the market?
Well, if Trump, again, if it stays status quo, probably it's not going to change significantly, right, because the market's going to stay the status as, again, no change. If Biden were to win, I think once he's declared victorious, I think the market reacts. You know, the market's going to react probably negatively at first to the anticipation of some of the things that he said he's going to do. We know he's going to raise capital gains tax. We know he's going to raise corporate tax. So there'll probably be a negative reaction. Now, I believe that's just a reaction.
Right.
Because next year, look, if we get our arms around this pandemic, things naturally are going to get better. The numbers are going to get better. Employment numbers are going to get better. Earnings are going to get better regardless of who the president is. So I do believe while there would be a negative reaction, it's just that, a reaction, and then things will settle down.
Well, we are facing a very real possibility that the results might not even be in on Election Day, if not the day after, simply because of all those mail-in ballots that we're seeing. So what are some tips that you have no matter the outcome of the election?
Well, look, long term, the market's going to be good. And again, the anticipation and the probability right now is that the Republicans will hold the Senate, the Democrats will hold the House. And if that's the case, and there's that split Congress, that's actually historically the best performing stock markets. So unless you're really into timing the market, which is extremely difficult and very hard to do, the advice is, you know, stay the course. This isn't going to be a real market-altering election, at least not initially, not for the first year or so. If it's a Democratic sweep, and again, the market doesn't like change, so if there's a sweep on either side, then that's probably going to be a little more volatile because the market will anticipate things changing. But if Congress is split, regardless of who the president is, the market isn't going to anticipate huge changes. So therefore, we have status quo, and status quo is actually pretty good. We've had a pretty good 3 years. Year to date, as we speak, the S&P 500 is up 7%.
Right.
So things are okay, and if things don't change a lot, then they'll remain okay.
Right. And, you know, I was going to ask you, what should we do right now? You answered that. Stay the course. I think that's a very important message.
Yeah, long term, I mean, the market's been very good, regardless of who the president is. It doesn't really change that much. It really doesn't. If you take out some outliers, and by outliers I mean the couple years leading up to the .com run in the late 90s, the real estate bubble of 2007 or 8. You take those out, and the market's very similar regardless of whether there's a Republican president or a Democrat president. So, yeah, you shouldn't try to time it. You shouldn't try to anticipate what's going on. Very hard to do, and the reality is it doesn't matter that much.
Right. All right, Dan, well, where can people go to get more information about what you're doing?
You can call my office in Voorhees, New Jersey, 856-489-5040. I appreciate you guys having me on, and congratulations on completing 2 years. That's awesome.
All right, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you after the election, see how things shape up. Appreciate it, Dan.
Looking forward to it. Thanks. Bye-bye.